Hi everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is the latest weather forecast for United States for this week. First of all, if you're new to the YouTube channel and still haven't subscribed, so subscribe now so you don't miss any important information about weather of United States. Thanks a lot. A dynamic storm system is forecast to significantly impact the central United States, with the potential for widespread weather-related disruptions as it advances towards the Great Lakes by the end of the week. This powerful system is expected to bring a broad swath of showers, thunderstorms, and severe weather, leading to treacherous conditions across multiple states. Residents and travelers in these areas are advised to stay informed and prepared, as the weather could change rapidly and dramatically, resulting in a range of hazardous conditions. As the low-pressure system intensifies over the northern plains, a cluster of slow-moving thunderstorms is expected to emerge in central North Dakota. The atmospheric conditions in this region will be particularly conducive to the development of strong thunderstorms, which may produce torrential rainfall, leading to localized flooding. These storms could linger over the same areas for extended periods, exacerbating the risk of flash flooding, especially in low-lying regions and urban areas where drainage systems may become overwhelmed by the volume of rain. The slow movement of these storms will contribute to their potential for significant rainfall accumulation, with some areas possibly receiving several inches of rain in a short period. This heavy rainfall will increase the likelihood of flash flooding, especially in areas that have already experienced recent rainfall, leaving the ground saturated and unable to absorb additional water. River levels may also rise rapidly, leading to potential flooding along smaller streams and rivers, particularly in areas with poor drainage. Meanwhile, a warm front extending from the Central Plains to the Ozarks is expected to provide the necessary lift for another round of heavy rainfall through tonight. This warm front, acting as a boundary between contrasting air masses, will create an environment conducive to the development of thunderstorms, some of which may produce heavy downpours. As the front progresses eastward, it will encounter increasingly moist and unstable air, further enhancing the potential for heavy rainfall and severe weather. The areas most at risk from this second round of storms include parts of the Central Plains, the Ozarks, and the lower Mississippi Valley. In these regions, the combination of warm, moist air and the lifting mechanism provided by the warm front will create an environment ripe for the development of thunderstorms capable of producing heavy rain. The risk of flash flooding will be especially high in urban areas, where concrete and asphalt surfaces can prevent rainwater from being absorbed into the ground, leading to rapid runoff and water accumulation in streets, underpasses, and low-lying areas. Additionally, regions that are already prone to waterlogging due to previous rainfall or poor drainage systems will be at heightened risk of experiencing flash flooding. In addition to the heavy rainfall, severe weather is also expected to accompany this system today and into Thursday. The combination of strong winds aloft, ample moisture, and instability will create conditions favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms capable of producing destructive winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes. The areas most susceptible to severe weather include the Midwest and Great Lakes regions, where the storm system is expected to interact with a particularly unstable atmosphere. As the storm system moves eastward, the risk of severe weather will spread across a broad area, encompassing parts of the central and eastern United States. In the Midwest, the combination of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico and cooler, drier air from Canada will create a volatile atmosphere conducive to the development of severe thunderstorms. These storms could produce damaging straight-line winds, which can down trees and power lines, leading to power outages and travel disruptions. Large hail is also a concern, as it can damage crops, vehicles, and buildings, and pose a serious threat to outdoor activities and events. Isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out, especially in areas where the wind shear, changes in wind speed and direction with height, is particularly strong. Tornadoes are capable of causing significant damage in a short amount of time, and residents in the affected areas should remain vigilant, paying close attention to weather alerts and being prepared to take immediate action if a tornado warning is issued. The potential for tornadoes is greatest in areas where the warm, moist air is being forced upward by the advancing cold front, leading to the rapid development of rotating thunderstorms known as supercells. As the storm system continues its eastward progression, the Great Lakes region will also face the threat of severe weather. Here, the interaction between the warm, moist air from the south and the cooler air from the north will create a sharp temperature contrast, providing the energy needed for severe thunderstorms to develop. The Great Lakes themselves can also influence the weather in the region, as the large bodies of water can modify the temperature and humidity of the air masses moving across them, potentially enhancing the development of severe storms. In addition to the central United States, other parts of the country will also experience unsettled weather over the coming days. Scattered thunderstorms are expected to develop in New England and along the Gulf Coast, where the combination of daytime heating and available moisture will lead to the formation of showers and storms. While these storms are not expected to be as severe as those in the central U.S., they could still produce localized heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and frequent lightning, posing a threat to outdoor activities and travel. In New England, the approach of a weak cold front will provide the necessary lift for thunderstorms to develop during the afternoon and evening hours. These storms will likely be scattered in nature, with the greatest concentration occurring in areas where the terrain or coastal influences enhance the lifting of the air. Although severe weather is not expected to be widespread, some storms could produce heavy downpours and gusty winds, leading to localized flooding and isolated power outages. The threat of lightning will also be a concern, particularly for those engaging in outdoor activities such as hiking, boating, or camping. Along the Gulf Coast, the combination of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico and the influence of the sea breeze will contribute to the development of scattered thunderstorms, primarily during the afternoon and evening hours. These storms will be capable of producing brief, heavy downpours, which could lead to localized flooding in areas with poor drainage. The threat of lightning will also be a concern, particularly for beachgoers and those participating in water-related activities. While the overall severe weather threat is low, some storms could produce gusty winds and small hail. Meanwhile, a prolonged heatwave will continue to afflict the south-central United States, with temperatures soaring into the triple digits across much of the region. The combination of high temperatures and elevated humidity levels will lead to dangerous heat indices, which could reach up to 110 degrees in some areas. This oppressive heat poses a significant risk to vulnerable populations, including the elderly, young children, and those with pre-existing health conditions. The prolonged nature of this heatwave will exacerbate the risks associated with extreme heat, as daily high temperatures remain well above average for an extended period. Residents in affected areas are urged to take heat safety precautions seriously to protect themselves and others from heat-related illnesses. This includes staying hydrated, avoiding strenuous outdoor activities during the hottest parts of the day, and seeking out air-conditioned environments to cool down. Heat-related illnesses, such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke, can develop quickly in these conditions and can be life-threatening if not treated promptly. Symptoms of heat exhaustion include heavy sweating, weakness, dizziness, nausea, and headaches. If left untreated, heat exhaustion can progress to heat stroke, a medical emergency characterized by a body temperature of 103 degrees or higher, confusion, loss of consciousness, and the absence of sweating. Heat stroke requires immediate medical attention and can be fatal if not treated promptly. The south-central U.S. is no stranger to extreme heat, but the severity and duration of this heatwave make it particularly dangerous. Residents are encouraged to check on vulnerable individuals, such as the elderly or those without access to air conditioning, to ensure they are staying cool and hydrated. Pet owners should also take precautions to protect their animals from the heat, providing plenty of water and ensuring they have access to shade or air-conditioned spaces. In addition to the health risks, the prolonged heatwave will also place additional strain on the region's infrastructure, particularly the power grid. With air conditioners running at full capacity, there is an increased risk of power outages due to the high demand for electricity. Utility companies are urging customers to conserve energy where possible, such as by setting thermostats a few degrees higher and avoiding the use of large appliances during peak hours. Agricultural interests in the region are also concerned about the impact of the heatwave on crops and livestock. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat can stress crops, leading to reduced yields and potentially damaging the quality of the produce. Livestock are also vulnerable to heat stress, which can reduce their productivity and, in severe cases, lead to illness or death. Farmers and ranchers are taking steps to protect their animals, such as providing extra water, shade, and ventilation to help them cope with the heat. Overall, the upcoming weather pattern is expected to bring a wide range of challenges to various parts of the United States. From the threat of severe thunderstorms and flash flooding in the central and eastern U.S. to the dangerous heatwave in the south-central region, residents are urged to stay informed and take appropriate precautions to protect themselves and their communities. With the potential for rapidly changing weather conditions, it is essential to remain vigilant and be prepared to respond to any weather-related emergencies that may arise in the coming days. Thanks for watching.